So those are pretty nice words from Coach to say that you turn quarterbacks to gold. What is your secret?
Well, they have talent. You know, I played the position, and you know, I think I've learned a lot from the guys. I think, you know, even when I started in the USFL with Roman Gabriel, who was an old name, that he really kind of was a mentor to me. And then all the guys that I've met throughout. So I played in college. I called the plays in college. I called the plays a lot in high school. And I've been doing it for a long time. So I think you get to know people and learn a lot. That's the great thing about this game. And I've learned a lot in just the 2 weeks I've been here. So you just keep trying to grow, and you try to give that information to the guys, and then individualize each quarterback, and don't put those guys into a cookie cutter. We've got enough schemes. I think that was the beauty of being in the National Football League with a few different people, that you kind of, you know, collaborate the different schemes and everything else that way. I thought I was lucky. The fact that it was here, you know, with Bill and you know, Wiz and BA, and get to know Dick LeBeau, and then on Philly with Andy Reid and Pat Sherman and Jim Johnson, late Jim Johnson. So you kind of get some things on both sides. So I think I'm a better coach than I've ever been. But you know, you got to have a guy that can throw the ball, talent-wise, and certainly I got lucky when you know, we drafted Ben, which is you know, just nobody can say what kind of career you're going to have, but he's just, you know, an awesome player, great guy.
It's early, but what type of talent do you have in your quarterback room right now? You
know, I've been on a road a bunch, so we haven't been able to. Yesterday was really, like Coach Pat said, first chance to get with the quarterbacks a little bit. So I've watched all the games. I've watched some of the practices that way. So yeah, there's talent there. There's good talent there, and you know, a lot of it has to do with the quarterback. It's who's around him. You know, the line, and Borbs does a great job. I think we got some guys in the skill area that can make plays, that have made plays, and then you know, bring some things out that you know, we've done. I think that going back to UMass, we were really, you know, when we're playing in the SEC, 14 games, or playing the Power Fives, you're outmanaged, so you got to find some ways to move the football, and I think that experience will be, you know, will be represented when we get here. So. But I like those guys. I just haven't had a chance to get to know them. In the spring, I like to develop those guys individually, and, you know, we'll meet together, but I like to kind of get individually, and I met all of those guys individually and get to know them as people and everything else, and then you know, devise a scheme, you know, that best suits their, you know, abilities.
Mark, this is such a crazy business that you're in, and things can change with each season and off season. When this came open and you were available, when did the light go on for you to where you said, wow, this could make a lot of sense?
Well, we had talked a little bit, and like Pat said, we knew each other from a long time ago and always respected each other. Then when I was, you know, in Cleveland, where Pat Sherman was a Michigan State grad, those guys came down as a staff. And when I was up kind of working out Kirk Cousins, you know, Pat was around, and we'd talk, and then, you know, we got to know each other a little bit better. Our wives got to know each other a little bit better in Arizona in the Fiesta Summit. So, but like he said, I have the same amount of respect. And we won the national championship in 1998 at UMass, and he'd gotten to Rhode Island, and they played us. We got we intercepted a ball to win a game, and it was probably one of the toughest games we had. And when I was at Brown, he had some great players and scheme, and, you know, so just respect him and followed his career. And I knew what he did at Michigan State, and you know, just you know, you kind of know. I had some things going on, and you kind of just make a decision. I was in Arizona, played enough golf, and Gary McCord told me, he said, "Hey, you're not good enough to play this game. Get coaching." So that's what we're doing.
Does this offense need a complete overhaul?
No. I mean, they ran the ball unbelievably. You know, I think there's some spacing issues, some things that way. And I'll get to know those guys. I mean, you know, we don't have the two running backs for the young guys. I think most importantly, the guys that I've met, I saw these guys have got a look in their eye that they're ready to make a nice step. And you don't know that till you meet them, but they won the Coastal, you know. I sent them an install and before yesterday, and I said, you know, studied it, and we had 15 minutes with them, and I like what they did on their own terms, and we've got some ability. So there's not an overhaul that way. And it's not the first time I've done this. So when I left Philadelphia, I went to Miami and coached in the ACC and leaned on Jeff Stoutland, who's now the Philadelphia Eagles coach. And, I've been with different line coaches. Coach Borbley came in there, did a great job with those guys. And you can see how much they respect they have. And Andre Powell's coached a lot of places. We've coached against each other, Clemson. So to me, it's a collaborative effort from everybody. I'm not just coming in, hey, we're doing it. We'll work around our talent and then see where we go. So, I'm excited to get spring practice going. I wish we'd started a little earlier, but which we're gonna, just so I get to see those guys, but it's better than that time when I went to Cleveland and there was no OTAs and the CBA and the lockout. So you get to camp, you don't even know these guys. So I'm excited to get to work with these guys this week.
When you evaluate quarterbacks, what separates the good ones from the great ones?
Well, I think the guy has to win, and at every level, if the guy doesn't win, then the coach usually doesn't have a job, and if he can't win in high school, then I don't know if he's going to win in college or win in that one. I think that reflects pretty much. I mean, there's some guys like I thought Cutler was a really good player, but so you look at it that way. Okay, he's at Vanderbilt. What's he doing against Florida? Well, he's beating Florida. He's throwing for 5 touchdowns. So how to compete? That position has got to be your leader. He's got to compete. And so that's number one. He's got to be able to throw the ball. We're a Power 5 team, so size is a factor. It's not all the same things. I mean, Drew Brees wasn't that big, and certainly Wilson's not that big. So kind of we'll see what we got. And I can't see these guys throw till spring, but what I've seen on tape, there's some things I watched every throw Kenny's had, and he's got ability.